Welcome everyone back to my channel, and to those that are new to my channel, welcome also. And I do cordially welcome you to subscribe to my channel, as it does help the channel. Today I just want to showcase some of the miniatures which I've painted over the last couple of weeks. I haven't actually uploaded a video over the last couple of weeks due to the fact that I've been unwell. The last video I uploaded was a showcase of my commission work, which was for a client, which showed the 4th British Division at the Battle of Victoria in 1813. If you just bear with me, I'll show you what I have painted over the last couple of weeks. If you do like what you see, please like, comment and subscribe, and hit that bell so you get to see more videos as I upload them. Okay, first up here is my Redempted Dreadnought, which I painted up for my own Space Marine chapter. My Space Marine chapter is a custom homebrew chapter called the Blood Diamonds. I painted this up in the colour scheme, which is the silver armour, and has the red pauldrons. And as we see there at the back, we've got the Adeptus Mechanicus symbol, which is all hand painted. This is basically the easy to build kit, so it only has the standard options, and then you can take off the front and you got all the workings in there, which I painted also by hand to add a little bit more detail to the miniature. It's not 100% finished. Obviously you've got the base, which still needs to be done, and it needs to be varnished, and the decals need to be placed on it, which I'll do at some stage when I get a bit more time. Okay, we'll look on to the next one. Here we have the iconic German aircraft, which is the Stuka from World War II, which I'll be using for my bolt action. It's all hand painted. Obviously that's why it looks a little bit dodgy, the camo, but this is a kit from Airfix, I believe, which is 1/72 scale. As you can see there, it comes with crew. It's not the best aircraft or paint job, but I believe it'll do for my bolt action Air Force for the German side. It does have a stand which I made, which elevates it up off the table, so it's at a height where it looks like it's actually coming down to do a dive bomb. That's what I've painted for the German Air Force for my bolt action. Up next, I'll have a few Allied aircraft which I've also painted for my bolt action Air Force. Okay, here we have a Allied aircraft. I believe this particular aircraft is the Typhoon. Another Airfix kit, I believe it is, which is also a 1/72 scale aircraft. I believe this has the Allied markings of around 1944, which is basically the D-Day markings. This particular aircraft I've had it armed with rockets to give it a little bit more punch when it comes to the bolt action. As you can see there, as it turns around, you've got the rockets underneath. And this one, according to the instructions, it did say it actually is before September 1944, which is around the time of Market Garden. As you can see there, it's got the base elevated up to a short distance off the ground to simulate that it's actually coming in for a strafing run. So that's my first Allied fighter which I painted. Here we have is my second Allied aircraft which I painted. This is the Spitfire, which is the Mark 5, I believe, which is another iconic aircraft from World War II. This particular aircraft wouldn't be possibly around the time of Normandy because it was an earlier model aircraft, but I still believe that they wouldn't just throw them into a scrap heap. They still would have kept them going until they basically become mechanically unable to fly or shot down. So I just added it because I do like the Spitfire. And this one here is also based exactly the same as the previous one in the Typhoon, where it's on the shorter base, simulating a strafing run. So this is the another Allied aircraft which I managed to get painted. That's the base, which is the same as the Typhoon. And this is the third and final aircraft which I painted, which is another Spitfire, which is the Mark 9, I believe, which is the late model of the Spitfire, which basically was the last model, I believe, to be brought into service during the Second World War. So this model was added to my bolt action Air Force for Normandy, because I think it would have been probably around that time, as the war was coming closer to the end. And once again, this one is based on the same short base as the Typhoon and the Spitfire Mark 5, to simulate that they're actually coming in for a strafing run, because they would have done a strafing run from a low altitude. So that's the last of the aircraft that I painted over the last couple of weeks. All hand painted, and I think they turned out quite well. Now, I haven't actually been able to paint a lot of miniatures for myself to actually be able to paint or play a proper game. So I've had to come up with a game for the family to play in the meantime. So what I've come up with is Star Wars Legion. Now here we have the iconic villain from the movie Star Wars, as we all know him as Darth Vader, formerly known as Anakin Skywalker. I've painted him up to a tabletop standard, and this comes out of the core set for Star Wars Legion, which is the Galactic Civil War core set. There are two core sets. There is the one for the, I believe the Clone Wars, I think it is, and then there's also the Galactic Civil War. And there's this gentleman here, as you can see, he's all hand painted to a tabletop standard. I've given him a bit of a gloss varnish on his helmet and on his gloves and his boots to give him that iconic shiny armour as we know from the movies. So I think he turned out quite well. Ready for the tabletop. Here we have the iconic Stormtroopers, which follow Darth Vader around the galaxy. Now these particular unit here, which is the squad, made up of 7 men, but unfortunately you can only have 6 on the table, so one of the miniatures has to be left out of the squad if you want to bring in a heavy weapon option. So you run 6 miniature squads in the game, but you're actually given 7 miniatures. But this one here is painted to tabletop standard. I've actually based it, these miniatures, so they can be used for Endor or another temperate climate sort of planet. I'm not really interested in the Tatooine or the Hoth landscapes. I think they've been overdone in a lot of tabletops, so I thought I'd do mine in a more of an Earth-like environment, where it's a little bit more green and lush. I think these turned out quite nice. Here we have the main vehicle, or walker, for the Rebel Alliance, which I painted also to a tabletop standard. I wanted to get them to look a little bit different, the pilot for the walker, compared to the actual infantry or the rebel troopers. So I've given him basically the World War II German P-dot trousers, just to separate him. So when you see him, you know that he's a different branch of the Rebel Alliance. As you can see there, I've given him the P-dot, and I've created my own sort of colour scheme for this particular walker, because they're a bit of a ragtag, the Rebel Alliance. They wouldn't all be uniformed. They would have just been a little bit haphazard. As you can see there, I've given a bit of details for the cockpit, so you've got a few screens there. So I think this turned out quite nice, and will be a great asset for the rebels on the tabletop. And here we have the iconic leader of the Rebel Alliance, which is Luke Skywalker, and I believe he's dressed in his iconic outfit from the Star Wars movie New Hope, which, as we saw, he was dressed in on Tatooine before he actually joined the Rebel Alliance at the end of the movie. So he doesn't have his iconic Jedi outfit. He's not actually a Jedi at this stage. He's just a Padawan or a Jedi in training. He's painted to a tabletop standard. He's based the same way as the other units which we've seen. So he can also be part of Endor or a temperate climate planet. And I think he turned out quite well with his blue lightsaber. I think he's got quite a nice pose there. He's got his pistol on his side there as well. He's a commander for the Rebel Alliance for Star Wars Legion, and I think he's quite good. And finally, for the Rebels of Star Wars Legion, we have the squad, and these are exactly the same as the Imperials. They also have 7 miniatures, and you have to sacrifice one of the miniatures by removing him to actually bring in one of the heavy weapons options. So you can only run 6 miniatures. So if you want to have them have a heavy weapon option, you have to remove one of the standard guys with the laser rifle. The commander there with the pattern on the back of his cape there, or jacket. I tried to paint that to I think it was an oak leaf pattern from World War II, just to give him a bit of uniqueness as a squad member, because there is another squad that I need to paint up. Yep, I think these turned out great. Okay guys, I just thought I'd introduce you to what Star Wars Legion is, if you guys don't know or are interested in the actual game. Here is in front of us is the core box, which contains basically a full army for you to start with on the tabletop. Just look at the back, it's upside down, turn it over, and here we have is everything you need in the back. You just have 2 squads of rebels, 2 squads of Imperials, you have 2 bikes, walker, you have the movement ruler, you have the range ruler, you have a set of rules, you have a set of tokens, you have unit cards, and that's basically what you have. You can add to it. There are different units you can purchase, such as these ones here, which I've got the Imperial Stormtroopers, Shore Troopers, sorry, the Rebel Commandos, and then they can be added to this core set here. And I also have another core set, which will give me double of everything really. So I'll get another walker, another speedy bike squad, 2 extra squads, and of each, and also give me some more dice and some more tokens, which does help play the game, because you do need quite a few tokens and quite a few dice. So these Shore Troopers and the Rebel Commandos, you can purchase them separately, and they're quite good units to have. They're more tougher units than what comes in the box. Basically, what comes in the box is usually cannon fodder. Really, it's just the bare bones of an army for you to play. Alright guys, that concludes pretty much my presentation for what I've done this week, or over the last couple of weeks I should say. I haven't done really a lot because due to illness. But if you like what you see, please like, comment and subscribe. Please go through all my other videos, and if you like those, please comment on them and like them, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.